Welcome to DJ TV.
INEC don reply Obi 25% for FCT, Babati drug matter and Amazon issue too.
Correct people, we greet you now. Welcome una to this our channel DJ TV, where ogbonge tori and update dey happen o. My people, if una never subscribe to our YouTube channel, make una no waste time again o. Make una rush now, make una go subscribe o, and also turn on that notification bell so that anytime wey we drop any update like this, una go dey notified gbagam. And our Facebook page, make una follow us and make una like. My people, make we quickly run enter the tori and update wey we carry come for una this time around. Make una watch.
INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu and the national commissioners today meet with members of various transport unions begin review some kind matter wey concern election for Naija. Mahmood tok say the success of any election depend on the ability to deploy personnel and material to different locations, take us say election for Naija na big one o, e no be easy task. Na wow, story. Anyway, my people, I go leave una now, make una watch this video and hear wetin Mahmood dey talk for inside concerning dis whole things wey dey talk, so make una watch.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At the national headquarters, elections don't take place at the state offices. Elections take place at the polling unit level, and you are the closest to the polling unit level. Beyond the EOs, what do we have? Racks and super racks, and then polling units. And so you play a very, very critical role indeed in the conduct of elections. And that's why we can't conduct a review of the elections without involving those who made the election tick. So let me say, on behalf of the Commission, we're extending our profound appreciation for the sacrifice, dedication, and commitment of all the EOs for the 2023 election. You received materials in good time, activated the racks, dealt with transportation issues, and through your hard work and the support of the Commission, for the first time in the last 4 electoral cycles, presidential and National Assembly elections were not postponed even for 1 hour. Even the governorship election that had to be adjusted by a week, it wasn't for reason of lack of preparation by the Commission. It was essentially a legal issue, and we were able to remove the encumbrance to enable us to conduct the elections. So once again, let me welcome the EOs in a very special way, and I think it is in appreciation of the role of the EOs that the Chief Technical Advisor decided not to take his designated seat. He decided to sit with the EOs. So for this meeting, Professor Eila is an honorary EO. Other senior officials of the Commission, members of the INEC Press Corps, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this meeting. Some of you here today may recall that at the meeting with the resident electoral commissioners held 2 weeks ago, on Tuesday, 4th July 2023, the Commission announced the commencement of the review of the 2023 general election. This was followed a week later by state-level review meetings nationwide involving our regular staff as well as some of the ad hoc staff. Today, we commenced a more focused engagement at the national level with the Commission's frontline officials, the electoral officers. We also considered it appropriate to interface with transport providers to review logistic arrangements by inviting the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, and the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. There is no doubt that the success of any election primarily depends on the ability to deploy personnel and materials to various locations. In Nigeria, this involves the biggest logistics deployment the nation periodically undertakes across vast terrains and often difficult topography. There is no logistic activity that this nation undertakes in peacetime or even in wartime like elections, where personnel and materials are deployed to almost 180,000 locations by land, by air, and by sea, and you make this happen. I think you deserve to clap for yourself for the service you rendered at this time. Now, logistics or transportation has been a perennial challenge over time, but is now compounded by the issue of infrastructure and insecurity. However, the Commission has to deploy personnel and materials not only for election day activities, but electoral activities in general, covering the period before, during, and after the elections. Many of the activities, such as the continuous voters registration, monitoring of party primaries for the nomination of candidates for the election, and the procurement and deployment of sensitive and non-sensitive materials must be accomplished ahead of the election. Otherwise, critical election day processes will be impossible. This meeting, therefore, provides an opportunity to interact on a wide range of themes covering at least 10 critical areas which I've highlighted. Number one, we need to review the general state of preparedness for the 2023 general election. Number two, voters' registration process and the associated issues of adequacy, timing, display of the voters' register for claims and objections, clean up of the voters' register, and collection of the PVCs, the permanent voters card. Number three, recruitment, training, deployment, and remuneration of ad hoc staff, including specific issues of mode of recruitment, conduct of training, effectiveness and utility of the e-learning platforms, and strategy for efficient payment of ad hoc staff. Four, matters arising from the implementation of the expansion of voter access to polling units. Number five, receipt and deployment of election materials. Six, technology during elections, including the various portals for the nomination of ad hoc staff, candidates, accreditation of observers, and media organizations, as well as the polling and collation agents, and voter registration, accreditation, and result management. Under the law, the names of polling agents are supposed to be submitted to the electoral officers through the resident electoral commissioners. One of the innovations introduced by the commission was to create a portal whereby parties can upload the names of their agents, and the commission produced customized ID cards, including photographs of the polling agents. And in 2023, for the general election, we produced well over 1.5 million identity cards for polling and collation agents. Number seven, election security. Number eight, election day processes with reference to forward logistics in terms of transportation of personnel and delivery of materials to registration area centers and the polling units, including specific issues of engagement with transport unions and the implementation of state-level obligations. We have a memorandum of understanding with the unions, but we have contracts with individual transport providers, and a certain percentage of the cost of each vehicle goes to the unions for effective supervision. We would like to hear from you, how effectively did this work? And reverse logistics. It's not only about forward logistics, but reverse logistics and movement of personnel and retrieval of field assets. When they deployed the ad hoc personnel and the materials, were the vehicles available for reverse logistics? We need to hear from you. Number 9, inventory of election materials, particularly the status and storage of reusable assets such as ballot boxes, voting cubicles, electric power generators, and so many more. These are materials that we use over and over again, and therefore all usable materials we must have an inventory of them. Number 9, physical conditions of storage and other immovable facilities. How good are the storage facilities in the various local government offices? And what about the assets? Bearing in mind that in addition to conducting pre-election activities and electoral activities, INEC also manages some of the largest real estate in this country. Very few people know that we have over 1,000 buildings that INEC has to maintain. The headquarters in Abuja, the annex in Blantyre, the Electoral Institute, 36 state offices, plus the FCT 37. We have 6 zonal stores, 2 sub-zonal stores in Lagos and Kano. We have offices in 774 local government areas. In some places, because of difficult terrain, we have actually more than one office. So we maintain 1,000 buildings as an agency. So it's not just about the conduct of elections. So we'd like to know, how well are we doing in terms of the opportunity we have for the storage of facilities and in terms of the maintenance of movable and immovable assets.
Yes, so my
And
people,
some of
and the
these
update
facilities
will
are
carry
not
from like
just
this. So this is
administrative
method
facilities
matter.
for
So
the
we don't hear
convenience of
rubber
management
sorry.
or administration
So
of elections.
my
They are
people,
also
I wanna see
electoral
am-
facilities
I wanna read
because
now.
some of them serve as
Make sure
collation
drop na
and
comment
declaration
so make sure don't
centers
forget to
during
like and share. Don't worry,
elections.
see you in our next video.
So similarly, in line with the Commission's policy, when the review engagements are completed, a comprehensive report will be prepared. I therefore urge you to lend your wealth of experience to the discussions in order to identify strengths and weaknesses for immediate improvement in forthcoming elections, especially the 3 off-cycle governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states, scheduled to hold on Saturday, the 11th of November 2023. You know there is no election season in Nigeria any longer. Elections hold throughout there. In November this year, we'll have 3 governorship elections. But before the governorship elections, vacancies have already occurred in 2 federal constituencies, Surulere 1 in Lagos and Jalingo Zing federal constituency in Taraba State, and 2 state constituencies, Chibok state constituency in Borno State and Chikum state constituency in Kaduna State. And these vacancies occurred barely 3 weeks after the inauguration of the National and State Assemblies. So there is no election season for the Commission any longer. All year round, we conduct elections. There is no respite between one general election and another. So those of you who are EOs in the states that I have mentioned, you have to brace up for the off-cycle governorship elections as well as the by-elections. I want to assure Nigerians that in the next 2 weeks, the Commission plans to hold more engagements with internal and external stakeholders, including political parties, civil society organizations, the media, and security agencies. So on this note, it's my pleasure to welcome our foot soldiers, the Eagles. It's also my pleasure to welcome the transport unions to this meeting. I thank you and God bless.
Yes, so my people, now the updates we will carry come for like this video. So how una see am, how una reason am, make una drop una comment. So this INEC chairman. And make una don't forget to like and share. Una do well. See you in the next video.
DJ